everyone, this is Ross Collins at North Dakota State University in Fargo, talking about what editors do, and today we're going to talk about dummy sheets, that is, the small facsimile or map of a page that editors will put together to plan the page. And editors don't do this as much as they used to, but they still do it somewhat, and it's a good practice to get a feeling for how a page is put together and an exercise in doing it by hand. And so today we have a dummy sheet from a broadsheet newspaper, standard broadsheet newspaper, and you'll notice it has numbers going up, starting at 1 at the bottom, going up the side, and then on the left side it starts at the top with number 1 and goes down, and each of these indicate a column inch. So that's a column inch on a page. And then you notice that here at the top we have some space. We have a number, and this is space that you as an editor can't use. And the reason you can't use it is because it is saved for the folio. That is the date and the page number. So when we count our column inches, we have to start at 1. I've begun by putting in some advertisements, laying in these advertisements, and I have 2 here. One Kroll's 4 by 13, that's 4 columns by 13 column inches or 13 inches. So I put this in by counting over 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and counting up to 13. And then I have a second ad, it's a Herberger's ad, and it's 2 columns by 4 inches. Our instruction sheet, it calls for a third ad. That's an ad from Barnes & Noble, and it is a 2 by 2. So we're going to put that in now. We'll count up to 1, 2, and we'll go over 2 columns. Take our ruler and draw a line and write Barnes & Noble 2 by 2. All right, so now we have our advertisements into the page, and I would like to point out that we put the advertisements along the edge of the page, along the side. This is called the pyramid style, to leave room for the non-advertising material, the copy, and illustrations on the rest of the page. So let's take a look at our news budget. Today we have a variety of stories here, a list of stories, and we have to try to put some of these stories in on the space that we have on the page. I'm going to start with the largest story, the longest story, which is typically the way we start laying out the page, and that is the Minot City Commission story. It is 25 column inches plus headline. All right, 25 column inches plus headline. So we have to decide where on this page we are going to put that story. And this is something that you do with practice, but I'm going to, because it's a relatively long story, I'm going to try to put it in this space right here. And I want to try to make it a rectangular shape. It's the modular design concept. And so I'm going to try to do this in the space that we have here. Alright, so the story is 25 column inches, but we have to leave room for the headline. How much room do we leave for the headline? Well, it depends, of course, on the size of the headline. So we as editors will choose a headline for this story. And the larger stories will probably have larger headlines. It's a matter of experience, and also you can use your headline schedule or head sched to get an idea of what headlines might work. But today I'm going to choose a 4-36-3. That is, 4 columns, 36 points, and 3 lines. 36 points, as we know, is 1/2 of an inch, because there are 72 points in an inch. So we know 36 is 1/2. So to calculate about how much space that headline will take up, we just can take a piece of scratch paper, and we know it's 4 columns times, well, 36 points, 1/2 inch, so 4 times 1/2 equals 2, but then we know it's going to go over 3 lines. So 2 times 3 equals 6. So we know that that headline will take up 6 column inches. Add that to the size of our story, which is 25 column inches, we know, and the total amount of space of that story with headline will be 31 column inches. Alright, so let's go back to our dummy sheet, and if we count down from the top here, we see it goes down to 8, and we can go over 4 columns because it'll be placed probably in a multi-column format. So 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4 is 32 column inches. So we know this space right here is 32 column inches. So will that story with the headline fit? Pretty well. The story is 31, we have 32. If you're within a column inch, either way, you're okay. Alright, so let's put that story into the space that we have here. I'm going to write the slug at the top, Minot Commission, and headline size 436.3, and then we're going to draw a line where we want the story to end, which is right here, and then we want to draw lines indicating where we would like the story to be placed, and we can do that by hand, or if we want to be really neat about it, we can use our ruler and draw these kind of zigzag lines here. Oops. Put an arrow at the bottom, and now that story has been placed on our page. So we take our copy control sheet. Remember, we have to put all stories on the copy control sheet so people know what we've done. We write Minot Commission, head size 436.3, page, we'll give it a page number, A5, length with headline 31 column inches. Alright. So, let's go on to our next story. Well, the next story here listed on our budget is the Higher Education Board meeting. Try that. That is 10 column inches plus head. Well, we probably will put that right about here, would be a good place. So, adding our headline, we know now we need a 2-column headline because this is a 4-column ad. 2-column headline. I'll do, how about a 224.3? Try that. How much space does a 224.3 take up? Again, 24 points is 1/3 of an inch. So, 2 times 1/3 equals 2/3. But we're going times 3 lines, so that's 6/3 equals 2. So we know that that headline is going to take up 2 column inches of space. Add that to our 10 column inches for the story, and we've got 12. Divide that by 2, because we're going across 2 columns. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. Draw our line, and then complete this just as we did for the Minot Commission story above, with the zigzag lines, the slug, and then of course adding it to our copy control sheet. So this is Ross Collins, and have fun doing the dummy sheet exercise for editors.